Hello, my beautiful kings and queens, and welcome to the Wicked Exposed channel, where I'm your divine intuitive messenger, Miss J, here to deliver to you once again another intuitive message from Spirit. To those of you who are new here to the channel, welcome. Over here, we sugarcoat nothing when it comes to these intuitive messages. Why? Because Spirit wants you to get all the smoke when it comes to these wicked energies. And to my returning Soul Tribe members, welcome back once again as we kick our way through these wicked tarot screens. Amen. I hear on the table, my loves, we already have our two sets of energies. Our first row of energy is our curing energy, followed by our curing energy, or our second row of energies, which pertains to thoughts of the mind or words that were spoken in a way that's going to pertain to these curing energies. I've already meditated over these energies with Spirit. I've also welcomed in my holy and spiritual angels and my holy and spiritual ancestors of Exceeded Master Reading. So we're all tuned in and ready to deliver to you what Spirit wants you to know at this moment in time. And at the end of this intuitive message, my love, if you like the way that Spirit uses this vessel to give you the confirmation that was needed to start your healing journey, then by all means, my love, hit that like, share, subscribe, and come back with the Empress J Tribe. I would love to have you as another one of my returning Soul Tribe members. So when it comes to these first row of energies, my love, which pertains to our current energies, keep in mind, my loves, these current energies may be past, present, or future. So you have to apply these energies in the time frame that they resonate with you. Right? So when it comes to this first row of current energy, my love, the first energy card we got out here on the table, right, is this woman, right? This feminine energy who's feeling trapped, right? She's in this energy of feeling trapped, right? For thinking something was going to go in her favor, right? And it didn't, right? So her mind is the place where she finds herself stuck, right? Her mind is the place where she finds herself stuck for thinking something was going to go in her favor, and it didn't, right? So apparently this woman here, right, has did something, or is the cause of something happening that she got this unforgiveness for from a particular person. Like I said, she's done something, or is the cause of something that she got this unforgiveness for with a particular person, right? And so that's what backfired on her. Her mind thinking she was going to get this unforgiveness for something she done, or is the cause of, right? And that's what backfired on her, was this unforgiveness, right? And she has no other options to turn to because her mind was thinking that she wouldn't need no options because this particular person was going to give her this forgiveness, right? Once she asked this person for forgiveness, but it didn't happen that way. Instead, what she got was this unforgiveness for something that she may have done, or is the cause of, right? So that's what stayed trapped in her mind, this unforgiveness that she was thinking she was going to get this forgiveness for. That's what backfired on her, right? So she's gotten this unforgiveness, right, from this energy card here, which is our next energy card, current energy card. She got this unforgiveness, right, for offering this apology, right? Once she offered this apology to this arrogant cat here, which I feel is a masculine, right? So she got this unforgiveness once she offered this apology to this arrogant cat here, which is the next current energy card. She got this unforgiveness once she offered this apology to this arrogant cat here, who I feel is a masculine energy, right? She offered this apology to this arrogant cat, who I feel is a masculine energy, right? Um, once she offered this apology to this arrogant cat, who I feel is a masculine energy. Arrogant meaning this this um this type of cat walks around, all proud and often look down on these types of women, right? So once she offered this apology to this arrogant cat, what she got was these rash actions, right? What she got from this apology was these rash actions from this arrogant cat, meaning this meaning this arrogant cat didn't hesitate to say something negative out of his mouth, right? When it came to this apology. This arrogant cat didn't hesitate to say something negative out of his mouth when it came to this apology, right? From this woman, right? Because he felt like she was being insincere, right? He felt like she was being insincere about this apology. Insincere meaning, he felt like she wasn't being fully honest about this apology, or she was being a hypocrite when it came to this apology, or she was just, she was just this two-faced person, meaning she would be one way in his face and another way behind his back. So one of them three ways, this arrogant cat felt like she was being insincere about this apology. That's why he threw out these rash actions once she had offered this arrogant cat this apology, right? Because see, both of these two energies here has this close watch, right? Has this close watch on this third energy card, who I feel is a feminine energy, right? That's about to have this glow up. So both of these two energies here, main focus is on this third energy card, which I feel is a feminine energy, who is about to have this glow up of new opportunities, right? That she's gained access to. So both of these two, this woman who feels trapped and this masculine that she offered this apology to, main focus is on this woman who's about to have this glow up of new opportunities that she's gained access to, right? And so these two energies could know that this woman here, who I feel is a feminine energy, has this new career going on for herself, right? Or is about to have this new career going on for herself. That's going to land her this successful business, right? And that's what has this masculine, right? Who is the last current energy card. That's what has this masculine suffering in silence, right? Is this woman who's about to have this glow up. That's who has this masculine suffering in silence behind closed doors, right? Because he has these unspoken desires, right? He has these unspoken desires that he's been keeping to himself behind closed doors, of still being with this woman who's about to have this glow up, right? So behind those closed doors, he's been having these unspoken desires of still wanting and desiring to be with this woman, right? See, behind closed doors, these are this masculine's real feelings, right? So behind closed doors, these are this masculine's real feelings, right? That he's been having for this woman who's about to have this glow up. That are only broken dreams, right? That are only gonna end up being broken dreams of his, right? These are this masculine's real feelings that gonna end up being broken dreams, right? when it comes to these unspoken desires, right? See, at the bottom of the deck, this masculine is still some type of way dealing with this toxic woman, right? That's why these are only broken dreams of his, because at the bottom of the deck, this masculine is more than likely still dealing with this toxic woman who loves drama, right? Who loves drama. He could be still dealing with this woman, right? And so she's about to like pop up out of nowhere, right? She's about to pop up out of nowhere and start all types of arguments with this masculine, right? Because he's gonna mention, he's gonna mention this word incompatible to her. He's gonna mention his word incompatible to her. That's what's gonna make her, start these arguments with him. Because he's gonna mention his word incompatible when it comes to these two, right? As we head down here to the next rough energy card, which pertains to thoughts of the mind or words that were spoken in a way that's going to pertain to these current energies, right? This woman who feels trapped is the one who said, I'm sorry to this masculine, right? She's the one who said, I'm sorry to this masculine, and got this unforgiveness, right? For whatever she done, or is the cause of, right? So her mind was thinking, she was going to get this forgiveness from him, once she said, I'm sorry, right? And that's what backfired on her. Him not forgiving her like she thought he was going to do, right? So that's what has her mad. That's what's been stuck on her mind. Her getting this unforgiveness that she was thinking she was going to get from him, right? And she has no options to turn to because, like I said, she was thinking that once she gave this masculine, once she said this, I'm sorry to this masculine, she was thinking she wouldn't need no options to turn to because she was just going to get this forgiveness from him, and it didn't happen that way, right? So this apology that she gave this arrogant cat is what backfired on her, right? And turned this masculine into this arrogant cat, right? Once he got this apology, right? He started throwing out these rash actions. Right? Towards her, right? Because he started, being this arrogant cat when it came to, these types of women like she is, right? Right? He started being this arrogant cat who started looking down on, who was walking around all proud and started looking down on these types of women, right? So he started, what backfired on her is him, him starting to be this arrogant cat who was looking down on women like this, right? And that's the reason why he threw out these rash actions towards her, right? Once she gave him this apology, one of these rash actions was he could have also said, I'm sorry. Once she gave him this apology, he could have also said, I'm sorry, right? Back, in return, he could have, his response could have been, I'm sorry, I can't be with just one person, right? That was one of these rash actions that he threw out. Towards this woman was, I'm sorry, I can't be with just one person, right? See, I feel like both of these two energies, this woman who feels trapped and this masculine that she gave this apology to, right? I feel like both of these two, I feel like both of these two, you know, it's like I said, it's keeping a close watch on this woman who's about to have this glow up, right? And so, what this woman who feels trapped could have done, right? What this woman who feels trapped could have done, is have this masculine man thinking that you collective put sex magic on me. I feel like she's the one who has this masculine man thinking that you collective when it comes to this, and that you call here, you collective put sex magic on me. So she could have told this masculine this. I feel like she could have told this masculine this, right? That you put sex magic on me. Got this masculine man thinking you put sex magic on me, right? But see, because, um, both of these two, like I said, both of these two, could be, watching out for this woman, right? It's on the lookout for this woman, right? When it comes to this new career. So she could have told this masculine that you put sex magic on me to get this, masculine's man, thinking that you you about to have this successful business and want him to be a part of it, right? She could have told this masculine that you put sex magic on you. You put sex magic on me, so she the one that got this masculine man thinking you put this sex magic on me, and he feeling like, and has his mind feeling like you want him to be a part of, this successful business of yours, right? That's the reason why he started acting, all arrogant towards this woman, right? Because she had his man thinking you put this sex magic on me, right? Because you would want him to be a part of this successful business of yours, right? I feel like she was thinking that if she tell this masculine that this was gonna get his mind to forgive her, right? This was gonna get his mind to forgive her, right? For whatever she done, right? This was gonna get his mind to forgive her for whatever she done, right? By putting something off on you. I feel like she was the one that was putting off something on you, which more than likely could have been something she was doing, right? And so his man thinking you were the one who put sex magic on me, right? And that's the reason he's suffering in silence behind closed doors, right? Because see, behind closed doors, right, he was having these unspoken desires, right? See, behind closed doors, he was having these unspoken desires. Once she had his mind thinking that you put sex magic on me, one of these unspoken desires was this masculine was hoping that this sex magic was working, right? One of these unspoken desires was this masculine was behind closed doors, right? Desiring for this sex magic to work on him, right? Desiring you and wanting this sex magic, right, that he was thinking you was doing to work on him, right? Or to work on the both of you, right? And see, that's what backfired on this masculine. Him listening to this woman tell him that you put sex magic on me, and so had his mind thinking that what was going on. So behind the scenes, right, behind closed doors, he was having these desires, right, for this sex magic to be working on the both of you two. I feel like he was having these unspoken desires of this magic to be working on the both of you two, right? And what backfired on him is whatever he was speaking on, right? Whatever he was speaking on for this, for the both of you two, right? Whatever he was speaking on, desiring for, whatever he was speaking on with these desires, right? Behind closed doors, whatever he was speaking on when it came to these desires of you and him is what backfired on him is these are his real feelings, right? What backfired on him is these are his real feelings, right? Because he was speaking on this sex magic to work, right? He was speaking on this sex magic to work, right? And was having these desires for you behind closed doors. And what backfired on him was that these are his real feelings, right? These are his real feelings that are only broken dreams, right? So, he could have told you, he could have told you, Colette, to stop making me jealous, right? He could have told you to stop making me jealous, right? Because, because he knows that behind closed doors, what he was speaking on and desiring was, for this sex magic to work. Because he knows that what he was speaking on and desiring behind closed doors has backfired on him, right? And that these are only broken dreams that he was having of you two, getting back together. So he could have told you stop trying to make me jealous, right? Because he knows that what he was speaking on and desiring behind closed doors has backfired on him. And so, yeah, like I said, he could have told you to stop trying to make me jealous, right? And he could have been speaking on, he could have been speaking on your new career, Colette. He could have been speaking on your new career because he was having these broken dreams about you and him getting back together. So he could have behind closed doors been wanting your new career to be broken dreams, just like he was having behind closed doors, right? He could have wanted you to have broken dreams, just like he was having behind closed doors was broken dreams, right? And that could be another reason why he's suffering in silence, because he wanted you to have the same broken dreams that he was having, because he was behind closed doors, speaking on the sex magic working on the both of you two to get back together, right? And it didn't happen. So and it didn't happen, right? Because bottom of the deck, this card in the reverse. This masculine, his mind, he could have been questioning his mind. I don't, this card in reverse, I don't know why I keep dreaming about you, right? He don't know why he keep dreaming about you. Now, this could have been something that he told this toxic woman, right? He don't know why. I don't know why I keep dreaming about you, Collective, right? And that's what made this toxic woman, want to start some drama, right? That's what made her pop up out of nowhere with wanting to start some drama, right? So this is where these arguments are coming from with her, right? Because he told her, I don't know why I keep reading about you collective, right? And um this, because this what he, to what he told her is making her, you know, feel like that these two are incompatible, right? What he told her, I don't know why I keep dreaming about you, is what's making her feel like these two are incompatible. What he told her, I don't know why I keep dreaming about you, is what's making her feel like these two are incompatible. So that's what, that's what that's where these arguments are coming from. That's where these arguments are coming from. This masculine telling her, I don't know why I keep dreaming about you. Because what's backfired on him is what he was doing behind closed doors. Speaking on this sex magic to work. Speaking on this sex magic, desiring you, and speaking on this sex magic, working on the both of you two, right? On the both of you two to get back together, right? And these were on the broken dreams of his, because, you know, that's what backfired on him, is he's actually having these real feelings about wanting to be with you, right? So we can get ready to get into the tarot and see what caused this situation to occur. Right. So see the bottom of the deck here, this masculine could have started being, stingy with his time, money, and energy when it came to this woman who's feeling trapped. He could have started, holding back with wanting, you know, he could have started holding back with spending any time, money, or energy with this woman who's feeling trapped. He could have started holding back from her. So we can get into the tarot to see what caused this situation to occur. And so, yeah, he could have started holding back. He could have started holding back with spending his time, money, energy with her. And that's why she could have been feeling trapped, right? Because he started no longer being, as I split the deck, I was looking at the energy card. He you know, he was no longer, she was no longer, he was no longer satisfied with what she was trying to, he had stopped being like, he, he had stopped being like, this woman who feels trapped. He could have stopped being like, he could have stopped being satisfied with anything she was trying to like offer him. He could have been, no longer satisfied with anything she was trying to like offer him. That's another thing could have her stuck in her man head. Let's see. So when it comes to this woman who feels trapped, right? It was because, it was because, the reason, it was because the reason she was feeling trapped, right? Cause she was, you know, trying to, with this, um, 8 of Wands energy card here, she was still trying to, talk this masculine. She was still trying to talk, talk to this masculine, right? And she was still trying to get this masculine to talk to her, right? She was still trying to get this masculine in the energy of wanting to talk to her, right? She was trying to, still trying to, talk to this masculine, talk this masculine out of, she was trying to like, still trying to talk this masculine into wanting to forgive her, right? She was still trying to talk to this masculine, right? She was still trying to talk to this masculine and wanted to forgive her, right? She was still, her man was thinking she could, still go towards this masculine and get him to talk. Her man was thinking she could still, she could go towards this masculine and get him, to talk to her and forgive her, right? Her man was thinking she could still go towards this masculine, right, and get him to her man was thinking she could still go talk to this masculine, right, and get him to forgive her for, with this apology. Her man was thinking she could go towards this masculine and talk him into forgiving her, right, for whatever she done. And this apology is what backfired on her, because this masculine, it turned into this arrogant cat. This masculine had turned into this arrogant cat, right, who started looking down on, with these types of women, right? Masculine had turned into this arrogant cat who started looking down on these types of women, right? And that's what, bottom of the deck, that's what caused all of this. That's what caused a lot of chaos and confusion, right? That's what caused a lot of chaos and confusion at this particular place, right? Because he started looking down on women like, these types of women like her. That's what caused a lot of chaos and confusion at this certain place, right? Because her man was thinking she could go towards this masculine, right? Her man was thinking she could go towards this masculine and talk him into like forgiving her, and it didn't happen, right? Instead, it turned him to this arrogant cat. It turned him to this arrogant cat who was no longer interested in what she had to say, right? Who was no longer, it turned him to this arrogant cat, right? Right. It turned him to this arrogant cat that was in the four of cups energy, right? Feeling like he ain't want to hear nothing she had to say, right? Feeling like he ain't want to hear nothing she had to say. Right? Feeling like he didn't want to hear nothing she had to say when it came to this apology, right? Feeling like he didn't want to hear nothing she had to say when it came to this apology, right? That's why he threw out these rash actions, That's why he hesitated to throw out these rash actions when it came to this apology, because he felt like she was being insincere, when it came to this apology. So he was feeling like he didn't want to hear nothing she had to say. And when it came to this apology, right? Right? Because he was thinking about He was thinking. He was thinking about this, the Empress, right? He was thinking about the Empress that's about to have this glow up, right? He was thinking on this Empress that's about to have this glow up, right? This glow up, new opportunities that she had gained access to, right? So she was about to have this new career. So she could have it. She's either about to have this new career, or she got a new career going on for herself. That's gonna land her in, this successful business, right? And yeah, yeah. So both of these two, like I said, both of these two, you know, was keeping a close watch out on the Empress, right? And so like I said, he wasn't he was no longer he was in the energy of Four Cups energy, feeling like he no longer wanted to hear what this woman who feel trapped had to say, because both of these two, you know, was keeping a watch out on the Empress, right? Who was about to have this glow up of new opportunities that she done gained access to. And so, this man was on this masculine man. Both of these two energies, man could have been on, this woman that's about to have this new career going on for herself, right? And this successful business that this Empress is about to have, right? It's what causes this masculine to have this tower moment, right? It's what caused this masculine to have this tower moment. That's the reason, he was suffering in silence, right? Because um because of this tower, because you know because the tower is what came crashing down on him for having these unspoken desires behind closed doors. The tower is what came down on him for having these unspoken desires that he was speaking on and desiring behind closed doors, right? Because now these are this masculine's real feelings, right? While he's going through the tower moment, while he's having this tower moment, right? These are this masculine's real feelings that are only broken dreams, right? Right? Because because of what this toxic woman had him feeling. Because of what this toxic woman had him feeling. Because of the way this toxic, yeah, because of something that this toxic woman was having him feeling like, right? Because of something this toxic woman had him feeling like that was going on, right? Now she wants to start some drama with this masculine, right? While he's going through the tower moment, she wants to start some drama with this masculine, right? And so that's where all these arguments are coming from, because this masculine is going through the tower moments, right? Of feeling like these two are incompatible. Right? So while he's going through the tower moment, she she's down here telling his masculine, I'm sorry, and getting this unforgiveness for it, right? And getting this unforgiveness for it. That's why she feels stuck. That's why this woman that's who's trapped in the man feels stuck, right? Because she got this her man would think that she was gonna get this forgiveness once she said I'm sorry, right?
this I'm sorry, right? This I'm sorry that she was telling him this I'm sorry is making this masculine is putting this masculine is putting this masculine in the Ten of Cups. It's putting this masculine in the Ten of Cups, right? Energy wanting to have, this happiness, right? This I'm sorry is what's is what this masculine is wanting to tell. It's what this masculine is wanting to tell you. I feel like, or this woman who feels trapped was thinking that if I tell him I'm sorry, I can have this happiness. I can have this happiness back with him once I tell him, once I give him this apology, right? Yeah, this more likely her thinking that she could still have this happiness, right? This Ten of Cups. This was her still thinking she could have this Ten of Cups when she come towards him with this apology. And instead she got these rash actions from this masculine, telling her I just can't be with one person, right? Because he started, feeling like he didn't want to hear nothing she had to say, right? Because he had gotten to the Emperor energy, right? Right? Started back taking control, right? Started back taking control of his life, right? Started back taking control of his life. That's why he didn't want to feel like hearing nothing she had to say, because he had started back. He had got into the Emperor energy, taking control back of his life, right? And it was because of this woman who was about to have. It was because of the Empress, right? It was because of the Empress who was about to have this glow up, right? Excuse me. But yeah, it's because of this Empress, because his mind, this masculine had got into the Emperor energy, wanting to take back control of his life, right? And it was because, he started thinking on the Empress that's about to have this glow up, right? But, um, you know, um, now see, the Empress could have, now see, the Empress, now see, the Empress, now see, the Empress that's got this new career going on for herself, right? And is having this successful business, right? This could be her. This could be her that's in the Hierophant energy, right? Speaking on, um, speaking out about, um, speaking out. This could be her, um, once she get this successful business, speaking on things like sex magic, right? Right? This could be this Empress speaking on things like, this Empress could be a leader, right? Speaking on things like, sex magic, right? And that's what got this masculine, that's what, um, got this masculine suffering in silence, because you could have got, the Empress could have gotten to the Hierophant energy, and this successful business could be what she's speaking on, right? She could be like a reader that's speaking on things like they're speaking on things like sex magic, right? And that's the reason why this masculine was behind closed doors suffering in silence. Because he was thinking that you put sex magic on me, and you collected could be this reader that was speaking on things like sex magic, right? That's what caused this masculine to have this tower moment for thinking, for having these unspoken desires of him thinking that you were that you put sex magic on me. But once you started speaking on, once you got this successful business and started speaking on things about sex magic, right? Once you started speaking on things about sex magic, you could have been this reader that told this masculine, you put sex magic on me, right? You could have been this reader that told this masculine, you put sex magic on me. And that's the reason why he's suffering in silence. Because he knows behind closed doors, that's what he was having these unspoken desires about, right? This successful business that you have could be that, you telling this, um, you speaking on sex magic, right? You telling this masculine that you put sex magic on me. Well, you speaking on, things like sex magic, right? You speaking on things about sex magic, right? This could be what your successful business is about. You being this reader and speaking on things about sex magic, and that's the reason why this masculine is suffering in silence behind closed doors, because he knew that this was one of his unspoken desires that he was having, right? Thinking that you put sex magic on him. And that's what caused this tower moment to come crumbling, crashing down on him, right? Because he knows that, because he knows that things are coming to an end, He knows that things are coming to an end, right? When it comes to you and him. He knows that things are coming to an end when it comes to you and him. And him having these broken dreams, that's why he told you stop trying to make me jealous, right? Because this masculine, he didn't know why I keep dreaming about you. He didn't know why I keep dreaming about you. He didn't know why I keep, he was questioning his mind why I don't know why I keep dreaming about you. And you putting things to an end, right? His mind didn't know why I keep dreaming about you. And it was because, it was because you was in this ten of swords energy of putting things to an end with him. It's because you was in this ten of swords energy of putting things to an end with him. That's why he told you stop trying to make me jealous, right? Because these were only broken dreams that he was having. These are only broken dreams that he was having, right? And yeah, these were only broken dreams that he was having of being in this 4-1's energy with you, right? These were only broken dreams that he was having of being in this 4-1's energy with you. Yeah, these were only broken dreams that he was having, right? And now that he got these real feelings, right? Now that he's got these real feelings of wanting What backfired on him is that he's got these real feelings of wanting to be in some type of marriage with you and have this happiness, right? And have this happiness, right? And have this 10 of cups, feeling like he can have this 10 of cups with you, right? That's why he could have told this woman, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but this is unforgiveness. Excuse me. That's why he told his woman, I'm sorry, but this is unforgiveness, right? This is unforgiveness for her, still trying to talk to him and offer him this apology, right? See, because now this masculine that she offered this apology to, he feeling stuck, right? He feeling stuck. He feeling stuck because, once he told this woman, I'm sorry, I just can't be with one person, right? He also got this backfire, right? He also got this backfire for being arrogant, right? He also got this backfire for being arrogant, right? And start, being dissatisfied with whatever these women like her had to say. He started, he also got this backfire for being arrogant because he started being dissatisfied with whatever he started being dissatisfied with any other any other any of these other options that was trying to talk to him. He started being dissatisfied with he started being dissatisfied with any of these options that was trying to like talk to him, right? And so that's how he got stuck for telling that's how he got stuck for telling this woman who feel trapped, I'm sorry, I just can't be with one person, because that's what backfired on him. He started being dissatisfied with any of these options that was trying to talk to him, right? Because he had started getting in this because this emperor has started getting in this empress had got into the hangman energy, right? Feeling like a failure. He had got into the hangman energy of feeling like a failure. Once he discovered that, you know, you were you were once he discovered that you were the Hierophant, right? Once he discovered that you was this, in the Hierophant energy of being this reader, right, that was speaking on things like sex magic, right? And could have told him that you put sex magic on me, right? He started feeling like a failure, right? Because he knows that, the Empress, right, is having this successful business. It's going to have this successful big. He knows that the Empress going to have this successful business, right? So he started feeling like a failure because, you know, he was thinking that, you know, you were put sex magic on me to get him, right, to get him to be a part of this successful business, right? But once you started speaking on once you had got this new career going on and started speaking on things like sex magic and could have told this masculine that you put sex magic on me, that's what has him suffering in silence, right? Because he know behind closed doors that's what these unspoken desires was, him wanting this Him thinking that you put sex magic on me and wanting it to work, right? And so the tower was what came crashing down on him, cause you, cause you putting things to an end with him. So he told you stop making me jealous, right? And so he told you stop making me jealous. He told you stop making me jealous because he thinking that he was thinking that things, because he was thinking that um, things was coming to an end, right? With you, things was coming to an end, with him, and he, and he was he was in his five of swords energy, right? And he was in his five of swords energy, um, thinking that he need to like um keep his distance from these and he was in his energy of this five of swords, thinking that he needs to like keep his distance from these other keep his distance from these other two um keep his distance from these other two that he could have been dealing with, right? From these other two yeah, he was thinking that he needed to keep his distance from these other two these could have been these other two women that he could have been dealing with at work, at this workplace. He was thinking he needed to keep his distance from these. He was thinking if he keep his, he was thinking that he need to keep his distance, right, from these other two energies that he could have been dealing with at this workplace, right? Because of you wanting to put something to an end with him, right? Because you know he 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 wanted to keep dreaming about you, right? He wanted to keep dreaming about you. That's why he chose to like keep his distance from these other two he could have been dealing with, right? And one of them was this toxic woman. And one of them was this toxic woman, right? One of them was this toxic woman that was starting a whole bunch of chaos and confusion, right? One of these two was this other woman that was starting this whole bunch of chaos and confusion. So that's basically what the cause of this situation was, right? So we now gonna pull four energy cards. So we now gonna pull four energy cards to see what affected these energies when it comes to this situation. But see, he was thinking that if he keep his distance from these other two that he could have been dealing with at this more than likely workplace, right? He could keep dreaming about you and he could keep dreaming about you, right? He could keep dreaming about you, not wanting to put an end to him, right? He could keep dreaming about you, right? Or he could keep dreaming about you, right? But you could have been, you could have been, you could have been still wanting to put something to an end. Put it this way, you could have been still. He was thinking that if he separate from these two that he could have been dealing with at his workplace, right? He could keep dreaming about you, right? But you are already, but you were already putting things to an end with this masculine. That's why he told you stop making me jealous, right? Because the tower had fell down on what he was, on these unspoken desires that he was having about you behind closed doors, right? Right? So you could have been the one that told this masculine, right? You could have been the one that told this masculine, I'm sorry, or when it came to this marriage. You could have been the one that told this masculine, I'm sorry, when it came to this marriage, right? Marriage that he was wanting to have his happiness with. You could have been the one that told this masculine, I'm sorry, when it comes to, him wanting to have this marriage with you. Yeah, this I'm sorry could have went three ways, right? With you, him, and this woman who feel trapped. All three of y'all could have been saying this I'm sorry, right? So you could have told him I'm sorry when it came to this marriage, that he was feeling like he could have this happiness with you, right? You could have also told him I'm sorry, right? Bottom of the deck here, you could have said I'm sorry to him, this divine masculine, right? You could have told him I'm sorry when it came to him wanting to have this marriage, right? Wanting to have this marriage with you, right? Feeling like, you was his happiness, right? And you could have told this masculine I'm sorry, right? That's what made this woman who feels trapped think that if she tell this masculine I'm sorry, she could get this forgiveness, right? Once she go towards him with this apology. And he told her, he told her, I'm sorry, I just can't be with one person, right? Because his mind was thinking on this soulmate. His mind was thinking on this soulmate, right? His mind was thinking on his soulmate of his, right? But once he told this woman, I'm sorry, I just can't be with one person, that's what backfired on him. This soul is his soulmate. That's what backfired on him. He got stuck in the mind, right? Because his soulmate, this soulmate was thinking that he just can't be with one person. That's what backfired on him. He got stuck in his mind for telling this woman who feels trapped, I can't be with one person. And this soulmate thinking that the reason why he's stuck is this soulmate thinking that he can't be with one person. He can't be with just one person. That's what backfired on him. That's how he got stuck, right? That's how he got stuck, for thinking that you could like to put sex magic on me, but once got this, once you got the telling, once you got the speaking on, once you got in the higher bunch energy of speaking on things like sex magic, I could have told this masculine that you put sex magic on the Empress, right? That's what had him, started feeling like a failure, right? That's what had him started feeling like a failure, right? Because he was going through a transitional change, right? He had started going through a transitional change, right? He had started going through this transitional change, right? He had started going through this transitional change, right? That's why he could have told you, stop trying to make me jealous, right? Because you was wanting to put something to an end with this masculine while he was going through the tower moment, right? And he started distancing himself from these two. That's why he chose to distance himself from these two that he could have been dealing with at this workplace, right? Because one of these two was this shapeshifter that was mimicking your energy, right? One of these two was this shapeshifter that was mimicking your energy. Yeah, one of these two that he was dealing with at his workplace was this shapeshifter that was mimicking your energy, right? Because she wanted him. She wanted to be with him. This divine master. She wanted to have him. Because she wanted him. She could have wanted him in the same type of energy that she was in, or she just wanted him, this divine masculine. She just wanted him for herself. She wanted him for herself. She could have just wanted him for herself, right? Or she just wanted him for herself. She just wanted this divine masculine for herself. That's the reason she started shape shifting and mimicking your energy, because she wanted him, this divine masculine, for herself, right? So we don't pull 4 energy blocks. We now got what affected these energies when it comes to this situation. We're gonna now pull 4 energy blocks to see what blockages these energies created for themselves, right, when it comes to this situation. Now pull 4 energy blocks to see what blockages these energies created for themselves when it comes to this situation. Okay. Okay. So this I'm sorry, right? This I'm sorry. This I'm sorry could be this I'm sorry, right? This I'm sorry could have been coming from when it comes to this first energy block. This I'm sorry, right, could have been coming from this I'm sorry could have been this I'm sorry, right, could have been okay, this I'm sorry could have been coming from this woman who feels trapped, right? Because this could also be her giving this masculine this apology, right? This could be what her I'm sorry is about, right? Telling this masculine that she was pregnant and she wasn't, right? Because she wanted to be, she wanted to be the one to have because she wanted to be the one to have this masculine, right? She wanted to be the one to be in a marriage with this masculine, right? So she was telling him that she was pregnant and she wasn't, right? She was telling this masculine that she was pregnant and she wasn't. And that's what this I'm sorry, right, could be about when it comes to her, right? Not telling the truth about being untruthful about something, right? Being untruthful when it comes to her saying she was pregnant and she wasn't, right? Just to you know, so he could come towards her, with a proposal of marriage, right? If she was thinking, if I tell him I'm pregnant, she could get this proposal of marriage with him, right? So this could be her that's giving him this apology about saying that she was pregnant and she wasn't, right? She wanted to be, she wanted this masculine to come towards her with this proposal of marriage, so she could have this happiness with him, right? And so that's what her, rushing towards him to give him this apology about, right? And this masculine wasn't feeling like her and nothing. She wasn't feeling like hearing what she had to say, because he, felt like she was being insincere when it came to this apology, right? That's why he started taking back control of his life, right? And was telling her, I'm sorry, I just can't be with one person, right? Because his man was thinking on this soulmate, right? His man was thinking on this soulmate that he wasn't going to have this victory with, because her man was thinking on this masculine just can't be with one person, right? That's how he got stuck. That's how he got stuck, for telling this woman who feel trapped that he can't be with one person. And so his soulmate was thinking the same thing when it came to him. That's why he feeling stuck, because he didn't have a victory with getting his soulmate back that he wanted. He wanted this to be everlasting with, right? Because he no longer wanted to be with this woman, right? He no longer wanted to be with this woman once he started going through this transition or change. He no longer wanted to be with this woman, right? That's why he was feeling like a failure, right? For listening. That's why he was feeling like a failure for listening to this woman tell him that you put sex magic on me, right? But once he discovered that you was having this successful business and was speaking on things like sex magic, right? You, the Empress, could have told this masculine. You, the Empress, could have told this masculine that, you know, you were the one who put sex magic on me, right? Yeah, you, the Empress, could have, started speaking on things, like I said, started speaking on things like sex magic, right? And that's what got this masculine feeling like a failure, because his mind was thinking that you had put this sex magic on him from listening to this shapeshifter, right? So listening to this shapeshifter that he didn't know was that he didn't know, was this evil person. That he didn't know was this evil person, right? That was mimicking your energy, right? He didn't know it was this evil person that was mimicking your energy. That's why he chose to distance himself, right, from both of these two energies that he was dealing with. That's why he chose to distance himself from both of these two energies that he was dealing with at this particular place, right? Because both of these two wanted to be with him. Both of these two wanted to be with him, right? Because he was this divine masculine. Both of these two wanted to be with him because he was this divine masculine, right? he was this divine masculine, right? Who had chose to distance himself from both of these two, right? Because he wanted to keep dreaming about you, but you was putting things to an end. You had put things to an end, right? That's why he told you stop trying to make me jealous, right? Because he was going through the tower, right? He was going through the tower, right? About these broken dreams, right? He was going through the tower for these broken dreams that he was speaking on behind closed doors, right? He was speaking on behind closed doors and having these desires for you, right? Having these desires for you, in the wrong way. Because now, that's how they ended up being his real feelings, because this backfired on him for speaking on, sex magic wanting to work. Speaking on this sex magic and desiring for it to work. Yeah, that's what he's going through the tower about. So, um, so so far the energies we got out on the table, we got Sagittarius energy, yeah, Sagittarius energy, Cancer energy, we got Earth, we got total Earth energy, right? We got Earth energy, um, Taurus energy, we got Pisces energy, we got Aries energy, Gemini energy, um, and we got air energy. We got air energy, and we got uh, yeah, like I said, water energy. So we're gonna pull some zodiac signs to see what this woman's who feel trapped energy, actual zodiac sign could be. And this masculine who was having this masculine who was this arrogant cat, your zodiac sign. These two zodiac signs that he could have been dealing with at this workplace. But he chose to put his distance to. Let's see. Yeah, look at the energy card. Now, she could this woman who feel trapped could be this counselor, right? She could be this counselor. She could be this counselor, right? That was all in her feelings, right? About this masculine not forgiving her. She could have be this counselor that was all in her feelings, right? And was going towards this masculine, going towards this masculine to offer him this apology. Going towards this masculine, right? Offer his apology because he was all in his feelings too. That's why because he was all in his feelings too. Once she gave him this apology, right? He could be this past season, just been in his feelings, right? Once she gave him this apology, right? Because he wanted to balance something out with you, right? That's why he started being dissatisfied with these other That's why he started being dissatisfied with anybody else that wanted to talk to him, right? Because he wanted to battle something out with you who could be, you who could be this Taurus or Libra, right? He wanted to battle something out with you. Like once you got this, successful business going on for yourself, right? He wanted to battle something out with you, but you could have you could have got he could have started feeling like you was being cold towards him. He could start feeling like you was being cold towards him. That's what had his mind thinking you put sex magic on me, right? Because you could have been this Taurus, right? You could have been this Taurus that told him, that you could have been this Taurus that told him you put sex magic on me, right? And that's why he was feeling like a failure. Because of this shapeshifter that he didn't know was evil, right? Which was one of these two that he was dealing with at work, right? Right? So he could have got in Virgo energy, thinking that he needed to distance himself, right? He could have got in Virgo energy, thinking that he needed to distance himself from this shapeshifter, who could also be this Virgo, right? He could also be this Virgo. One of these two that he chose to keep his distance from. She could have been this Virgo that got into this shapeshifter energy, trying to look good for him, because he was trying to distance himself from her, right? That could have been what got her mind, you know. That's what could have got her, to thinking that she need to That's what could have got her thinking that she need to start, looking good for him. That's what could have got her in this Gemini energy, thinking she need to start looking good for him, Because she wanted to mimic your energy, right? She wanted to mimic your energy so that she could look good for him. This divine masculine, right? So we're gonna that concludes the end of this message reading. All right, that concludes the end of this message reading, and we're gonna close out this reading with what Spirit wants you to know what Spirit wants you to know in order to heal from this situation. What Spirit wants you to know in order to heal from the situation. For one energy card. One energy card. So Spirit is saying that you two are on different paths, right? You are not on the same path with the person you have in mind. The directions you want to move into are different. So Spirit is saying you are not on the same path as this masculine. That you are not on the Spirit is saying that you are not on the same path with this masculine that you have in mind, or this masculine, or the Spirit is telling this masculine you are not on the same path with this Empress that you have in mind, right? The directions you want to move into are different. So Spirit is telling that both of you two that y'all are not on the same path. Right? Spirit is telling the both of you two, this Emperor and this Empress, that y'all two are not on the same path. Y'all two have different paths. So in order to heal, in order to heal from the situation, you have healed from this situation. Empress, you have healed from this situation because you chose to put an end to it with this masculine. But this masculine is on a different path, you know. Y'all not on the same path yet. He could be still healing, or he may still need to heal. All right. And so that was the reading, my loves. And if this message resonated with you, I was glad to be the vessel used from Spirit to give you the confirmation that was needed to start your healing journey, right? Cause see, you and this masculine on different paths, right? You already you already you already you have already reached your goal, but this masculine may still need to heal in order to get on the right path, in order to get on the same in order to get on the same path, right? This masculine needs to heal because he on a different path as you. He could be just going through a transition, so he's not on the same path as you are. And so that's what his different paths is, you know. You've already healed from the situation. This masculine could be just starting to heal. What is it? Because this card says the directions you want to move into are different. So this masculine could want to move into a path that you may not want to move to, or you may want to move to a path you on a path that this masculine may not want to be on, or this masculine may be on a path that you may not want to be on. Something like that. Okay. All I know is y'all paths are different. This masculine may want a path that you may not want, and you may be on a path that this masculine may not want to be on. So y'all paths are different. So that's all I can. That's all Spirit, is saying when it comes to y'all two and y'all paths. Okay. So until next time, my loves, that we meet on these Wicked Tarot Streets, right? If this message resonated with you, I was glad to be the vessel used from Spirit to give you the confirmation that was needed to start your healing journey. And until next time, my love, that we meet again on these Wicked Tarot Streets, my love, my beautiful collectors, stay blessed and take care.